searching, all right? We press record there now, and then we fade out.
Okay, welcome to once again Voice of London Television. As usual, supporting the research and as a Pan-Africanist and of course an Nkrumahist, we are supporting the revival of Africa as usual. Like I said, we'll be going deep into economics this time, politics and economics, yes. But we'll be looking at more of the economic side. Please don't forget to like, share, and of course subscribe so that your friends, colleagues, family members can all benefit from the good interactions we're having here. It's all about information, education, and enlightenment for the betterment of the Black man, Ghana, and Pan-Africanism. Let me welcome my noble guest in the person of Dr. Lawrence AKWETEY, the third born, and so a Mensa. Doctor, welcome to the show once again.
Thank you, Nana Osagyefo. Thank you so much.
You didn't add a Kuntu Kuruku Santa.
Nana Osagyefo Kuntum Kunuku.
Exactly.
Correct.
You know, I had extra ones as well, which was bestowed on me.
Yeah.
I said, Nana, you are, you know, as a pioneer of bringing the first radio broadcasting station to the African in London, UK, and Europe, and across the globe. You are Sasraku Ipeli and then I don't even understand that Sasraku and Ipeli.
Yes.
But I'm sure, Doc, you understand the
Ipeli. Definitely.
Yes.
Yes.
What's the literal meaning of Ipeli?
Stone upon stone.
Hey, that means I'm a hardy guy.
Yes.
All right, so that is from the humor side of things. Now let's look at as we've relaxed ourselves, now let's go into the seriously. We're going to look at issues and how we can better ourselves today. Okay, so Doc, straight to the economy.
Yes.
The layman on the streets.
Yes.
The hawker who has no educational background will say, why this word economy, everywhere, and these people, we vote for them, they come, they say economy, here we don't get it right. Yes. What is the economy?
The economy, well, what the theorists and the people who actually practice economic policies should be aiming at is making life or the standard of living or the well-being of the individual in the country or the citizens of a country very comfortable.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? You have to make sure that you have what we call the macroeconomic indicators well. That means all that you do will make sure that you have an acceptable level of inflation, acceptable level of the exchange rate mechanism, acceptable level of GDP, and all that to transform in what we call economic development. Let me just make this clear. What a lot of people confuse is they confuse economic growth with economic development. These indicators, the macroeconomic indicators like inflation, the exchange rate, and all that, when they are properly managed, and you have the ideal inflation level, for example, of about 2.5 that we have in the UK now, and the exchange rate mechanism is good, no, it dovetails into what we call economic growth. And when there is a growth in the economy, then government has enough money to transform that into economic development. Economic development being able to establish, to build good hospitals, good education facilities, schools, good waterborne facilities, electricity, and all those things that we need to live a comfortable life. When we have all those things running well, then we see we have economic development. But these things come about when we have good economic growth coming out of the macroeconomic indicators.
Yeah. And then when the economy is properly managed.
And when it is managed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now having dealt with the macroeconomic aspect, let's go to the micro one.
The micro one is where the government, a very important one.
Yes.
Micro is where we have the companies.
Yes.
And the companies that are operating.
Yes.
Now, that is why I stated from the beginning that President Mahama of Ghana said he wants Ghana to be an export-led country, and you cannot export unless you manufacture.
Yes.
I'll give you an example. When I traveled to Keta, where I was born, I passed through Ada.
If you are born in Keta, you might be related to Rollins.
I know him very well.
He's from Keta?
Yes. I know the house he comes from.
That family?
That Boti family. I know all of them.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And his nephews, everybody. I know all of them.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And I passed through Adam. And when you reach Adam, you see that we have a lot of tomatoes during the season. Bumpy harvest of tomatoes.
Really?
And people are not able to buy all of them. So a majority of them, huge number of them go waste.
Right.
And they throw them out. Why don't we build at least one tomato factory in Adam when we have big raw materials there, the source of the raw materials?
But I thought Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana used to have a tomato
in Paul Group, somewhere in the north.
The north.
Yes.
But this one is
when the enemies of Kwame Nkrumah's industrialization came in, they dismantled all that. Now, if I have somewhere near to President Mahama, I would be suggesting that. Why don't we go to Italy? The Italians, they supply the whole of Europe tomatoes, canned tomatoes. So we go to Italy and we'll get a company that will be willing to send a subsidiary to Ghana, build a huge tomato factory. We can the tomatoes that go to waste eventually, and sell it to African trade or on the West African trade. So I agree with President Mahama 100%. We have to manufacture for export. And if that happens, I want to be in the middle of it.
Wow.
I want to see whether I can have any position of trying to get investment from Europe or wherever it is into Ghana so that we try to replicate what Kwame Nkrumah did many years ago. Where we have the Kadema factory, sugar factory in Ashishware, Takura Aboso glass factory, the meat factory in Bolgatanga, the Tema steel factory, Akosombo textiles, the Tema textiles, everything like that. When the enemies of Kwame Nkrumah revolution came, they dismantled all this.
So it means that Ghana has the template before.
Yes.
And it's not too late.
Ghana, if Kwame Nkrumah had just stayed for another 2 years, Ghana would have been one of the...
Not even Ghana, the whole of Africa.
The whole of Africa. Yes, I agree.
So basically, this is not new.
No.
So we can implement it.
Every economist knows that no country develops or grows has economic growth without export. The great United States, for example, they manufacture so much that they are self-sufficient, and the surplus they export. That's why they have money. But I tell you now, China has overtaken them. China's manufacturing rate is powerful. Very powerful. Seriously powerful.
I remember during the COVID, in one of the research works I did, they even interviewed the Chinese finance minister. Because they were saying on some of the media platforms, the and the propaganda's platform would say, China is going to collapse because it's challenged and taking over the economy of the world and all that. And the finance minister came and said, no, look, we don't even need the rest of the world. Within China, the internal consumption, economic management itself is a bigger market.
It's a bigger market.
They are over 2 billion in population.
And the
And
export.
so, exactly, and their
Yes.
exports is a bonus for the economy.
Yes.
And the West has sent all their factories to China.
Yes. Let me tell you something as a
Yes.
matter of interest. You know, China, how many ports do you think they have? Ghana, we have 2 ports, Tema and Takoradi.
Yeah.
Yes. In China, how many ports do you think they have? China has over 1,000 ports.
What?
1,043 the last time I checked. You know?
Really?
Yes.
That
And
is
some
a
of
lot.
these ports are only dedicated for exporting goods and services to the United States because that is their biggest market, you know.
So
You know,
probably
because
that's
they
why
are,
Trump
he
thinks he
thinks
could
he
help
can
them
trap
by.
them. No,
Yes.
those people are very sharp. They are very sharp. Of course,
And
they
of
have.
late, the wonders they've been doing in that country.
Yes.
Have you seen the technological bridges and modern?
Look, this mobile, what is it? iPhone 16.
Yes.
They are all manufactured in China. Tesla.
I know.
Elon Musk,
Elon
Tesla,
Musk.
the biggest factory is in
Yes.
China.
And the
All
other
of
day
them
they
are
were
there.
interviewing Trump on one of the night interviews.
Yes.
And the host is quite funny, you know.
Yes.
He pulled Trump along, but Trump was mashing up China.
Yeah.
So he asked Trump,
Yeah.
"This your red tie?"
Yes.
Because you know he's always in red tie.
Yeah.
It's a nice tie.
Yeah.
Trump
What
said,
was
of
it
course. And then Trump said, "My ties are from this brand, you know, Western brands."
Yes.
So I think the host knew.
Where the tie came from.
So he said, "Okay, so let's see where it's made of."
Yeah.
He turned the tie, Trump's tie,
Yeah.
and it was made in China.
Yes.
And I said, "Oh my
Yeah.
God,
It's not an embarrassment.
very embarrassing." Live on one of their news nights
Yes.
programs. You know?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Doc, it's quite interesting. So,
Yeah.
basically, if this quality top-notch program we are having, we can look at what Kwame Nkrumah did,
Yes.
where we are now,
Yes.
in spite of the deterioration and people like Achampon and Rawlings trying to revive it. Now we have the Fourth Republic,
Yeah.
and we have the likes of Mahama,
Yes.
not the Akufo-Addo, because Akufo-Addo is not for manufacture for exports
Yes.
ideology.
Yes.
Yes, it's more of a different realm. So
Yes.
let's look at the Mahama reset.
Yes.
It means that if we can get these things mapped out well,
Yes.
we can make it.
Yes. Let me tell you something. When President Mahama was there some 8 years ago,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, or he started 12 years ago for 4 years before this.
No, the 4 years,
Yeah.
they didn't allow him. They went to court for almost a year.
Yeah, you see.
So
Yeah,
Mahama
took
only
almost
did 3 years.
3 years, okay.
Yes.
Even within the 3 years,
Yes.
in order to get this industrialization on a bigger
Yes.
market,
Yes.
one of the, I use the word, the enabling environment.
Yes.
You have to get some things right
Mhm.
before the investor will be interested in coming to your country to invest.
Yes.
And one crucial one is infrastructure. So if you remember, President Mahama invested in a lot of infrastructure,
Yeah.
particularly roads,
Mhm. Yeah.
and schools, and the roads and the utilities. He got rid of Doomsor.
Yeah.
Because
Very
imagine
good.
you bring an investor in
There's no
and you
electricity.
have electricity for only 1 day a
Yeah.
week. No. He made sure he did all those things.
Right.
And had he come the next set of 4 years, he would have started with this industrialization. But thank God he's got 4 years now. Some of those infrastructures have been set up nicely.
Right.
So it will not be too long before he starts with some of these
Okay.
factory things.
Now, before we go back to the macro one,
Yes.
economic, and then the micro,
Yes.
interjecting and looking at both.
Yes.
One of the things from an observational angle,
Yes.
in terms of the basic food, that has been a problem because when people are hungry,
Yes.
sometimes they can't think right.
Yes.
Because an hungry man
An angry-
is an angry man,
Yes. Yes.
So, in terms of the food thing. You think if Mama can sort that one first,
I think,
probably the people can calm down a bit.
yes.
And then he can push forward this.
Of course, you cannot be setting up manufacturing industries without the people who are going to manage eating food. They will have to eat food.
Yeah.
Have you seen what the Burkinabe leader in?
Yeah,
he has increased the agricultural production in that country. Most of the citizens are self-sufficient food-wise.
Yes.
And then he's now embarked on these factories, 2 tomato factories and all the rest. Very important. President Mahama, I don't have the slightest doubt that he will look at the agri sector. You know, he has appointed somebody as the Minister of Agri, and because of the sector is so dear to him, and from what you have just said, people have to eat. Yeah. He has appointed a deputy to that.
And that deputy is quite an interesting deputy.
Yes, because he has a farm.
He has a farm. Yes. I know.
So that is the thinking.
And he's a young man.
He's a young man too, energetic young man.
Yes.
So what will happen is we will have food sufficiency.
Okay.
Alongside with the expansion of industries.
Okay, that's a good point. Now, I want this segment is purely about the economy because I want us to find a holistic solutions, lasting solutions.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how would the distribution into all the other regions and the pricing, you see,
of the goods,
yes, this is something that I think you guys and the government need to look into properly.
Yes. Okay. Well, it's a good question. You know, let me tell you something. When you are setting up manufacturing countries or manufacturing industries all around the country, you also have to be looking at where you are going to market those goods.
Right.
You know, which market are you going to put?
Yes.
Now, some time ago, you will know that in Nigeria, they were assembling Peugeot cars.
Yes.
In Nigeria, Peugeot 504.
I read about it.
You know, initially, it looked like it was going well. But what the thing that stopped, or the thing that caused that thing to collapse, was that they were not finding markets. You cannot come and assemble 504 and export it back to Europe. Yeah. Which African markets were they going to go to? Right. That was the reason why that Peugeot thing failed in Nigeria. Of course, when we are manufacturing, we have to look at the African market first. The intra-African trade. They just launched it. Yeah, the headquarters is in Accra.
Yes.
Now, what goods can we produce for the African people to buy? For example, the example I was telling you about the Adan tomato factory, for example, West Africa will overbuy canned tomatoes from Ghana if we are able to supply them. You know, we are not going to can tomatoes in Ghana and send to Europe. No. It will be either West Africa or the whole of intra-African countries.
Yes.
And we'll get markets. Okay. So the important underlying thing is when you are manufacturing, make sure that you know the market where your goods are going to go.
Right.
Because you cannot manufacture without sales.
Now, let's stick to that, this particular point. Because I want us, with your expertise and our indulgence, and then our millions of viewers.
Yes.
Now that we've identified
the
secrets of economics and some part of the economics that will really bring solution to Africa. And lasting one as well. What are we going to do to ensure that the way the Europeans make sure their distribution networks works well? Same happens to not just Ghana, but Africa. Because with Africa, our numbers, the last time I checked, was hovering around 1.5 billion. I mean, I know you are an economy, so you might have the right figure. So if we have, say, between 1.5 million, billion population, that's enough markets. So why can't we get it right in terms of we are the AU? What is stopping us in getting it right in terms of the total redistribution of those things and getting it right, getting
the right market?
Yes, the market is already there.
Yes, but the market is there. When you say the market is there, then you are saying that the people are ready there to buy. There is something that you do in marketing and business management.
Yes.
We call it pestle analysis.
Okay.
When you are going to launch goods somewhere or you are going to invest in a country,
Yeah.
you do what the military people will say a recce.
Yeah.
You know, and but the business managers or the marketing people will call it environmental scanning or scanning of the environment to look at it. It will be what political dispensation are they having there? What does the politics of the country look like? What is the economy of the place? Do they have what for example, what is the value of the currency of the country in which you are going to sell? Or then those things should be giving you ideas whether these people will be able to buy your goods.
So don't stop there. You continue. I want us to find lasting solution. That is why me and you are going into this thing.
Yes.
You and I know that the market is not there.
Yes.
But the consumption is there.
Yeah. The market will be there depending upon the good you produce.
Yes, but
for example, tomatoes. When I went to Ghana last time, my brother was complaining that one tomatoes for 5 cedis.
Yeah, I heard it's very expensive there.
If we get these tomatoes and can them and in super abundance and distribute them, the prices will come down and we'll have a heavy market for them.
Great. Now, we are sticking with the tomato thing as we are using that as the main sample. Okay. Now, don't you also think the reason I said we have the market, we have the consumers, we don't have a problem. The problem we have is that we don't have the employments and the monies and the peoples or the populates of Africa or Ghana in their hands to purchase. They don't have any purchasing power.
The purchasing power.
They don't have it.
It depends.
Because look at the unemployment in also, you see, I'm bringing these factors in for us to look at it holistically so that we can have a lasting solution because they are not being paid well. Okay, that's those who are working, they're not being paid well. Then you have the unemployment over the roof. And then we have the idea how to solve it. So how can we bridge all these gaps and have a very solid holistic solution to what we are talking about in terms of the microeconomic?
The whole thing is, first of all, you said that you cannot be working in a factory on an empty stomach. So whatever we are producing, the agricultural sector should make sure that we increase our production. Where we have these hoes and cows being yoked together and all the rest, let us bring mechanized farming. Let me tell you something. There are 3 main things that hold the economy of Ghana. We have the...
Yeah, I read it in your book.
Yes.
It's in that green one.
In
the green book,
Yes. We have, what is it? Remind me now. There are the 3 main this thing. We have the services sector. We have the technical, the manufacturing sector, and we have the agri sector. Those are the 3 things that hold the economy of Ghana. At the moment, the best one is the services sector. That is bringing a lot of money to Ghana, where we have hotels, where we have resorts at the beaches, and we have other things that entertainment and all the rest. Good. Agriculture is not too bad, but like we are saying, if we make it a mechanized farming, we increase the productivity. For the people to get food to eat. When we are food sufficient, I'm sure we'll have a surplus to export. And then when we are exporting them, then it brings in extra revenue. Where we are failing heavily is the manufacturing sector. No, nothing is being exported. Everything is being imported. Now, let me be specific here. Somebody will be listening to me in Ghana and said, this guy is picking up people. You know this company called, I've forgotten, there is a supermarket in Ghana now, all over the place, wherever you go. You should know it.
The malls.
No, the malls are there,
And then
but there are some Indian company.
I haven't been for a while.
I know it.
Is it the macro? What do you call it?
No,
Not that one.
They have a very big one opposite the cemetery in Shashi there.
Oh.
You know, yeah. It has just escaped me. You know, you
Is
go
that
to
the one that their building collapsed some time ago?
Yes, their building collapsed in Achimota.
Achimota.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
called.
Yes. If you remember,
Is it starts with M or something like that?
Malcolm.
Malcolm. You
That's
see?
the company.
I think
That's
we are
it.
there.
You did well. It's called Malcolm.
Yeah, Malcolm.
Wherever you go, you see that they have brought in all these imported goods, including even mangoes and guavas and all that from abroad. You know, fine. People go in there and buy. I go in there and buy. I wanted to buy an AC. I went in there, I bought it.
Yeah.
You know, and I went to Takoradi. They have a big one there. In the small corner at Ajirungano, where I live, they have it there everywhere. Now, that is fine. It's satisfying the Ghanaian consumer.
Yeah.
What about Melcom embarking on manufacturing some of those products in Ghana instead of bringing them in?
And then there's something you need to look at based on what you just said.
Yes.
There is this blue, the company is called Blue something.
Okay.
And they are supplying the very mangoes and pineapples and all these things to Max and Spencer Europe.
In Europe, okay.
So why wouldn't that, so they interviewed the, I think they have, it's a Ghanaian man and he must have some European partners.
Yeah.
Massive farming, they call them Blue something.
Yeah, but what I want to say is the might of Melcom, the might that they are, the money that they have, I guess, should be able to enable them to set up factories in Accra, in Tema, in Takoradi, in Tamale, in Sunyani, manufacturing some of those things that they import, and sell locally.
Let me also intervene
Yes.
here. We are finding solutions.
Yes.
Lasting solutions.
Yes. Malcolm is doing well. Anything I wanted, I got there. Everything I wanted, I got there.
It home produce.
Yes. But it's all coming from abroad. Why don't they set up factories to do that?
So Kwame Nkrumah has state farms.
Yes.
Anything wrong with us going back to state farms?
No. Nothing wrong with it. If only it will augment the level of our agricultural produce.
And then why can't we also have state supermarkets?
Yes, if the country so desires, Once the beneficiary is the Ghanaian citizen, the individual has to eat.
Let's talk about the purchasing power. The reason why I'm bringing that one in is that how many people can afford all this? Because
we don't have the purchasing power because there are a lot of graduates who are on the street unemployed. There are a lot of SSS girls and boys who are very bright, who cannot go to university because their parents cannot afford it. I'm not boasting, but I have paid for about 5 students to go to university because I saw that they were good, but there was nobody to pay for them. And I don't know them, they are not my family. And it gives me a lot of pleasure to do that. I know my reward will come from God one day. So the purchasing power, if we are able to open these factories, create jobs, then people will be able to work and earn money to buy.
Now you hit the nail on the head as well. Create jobs.
Yes.
How are we going to create jobs? The minimum. I'm talking about the salaries and the wages in Ghana.
Yes.
Pathetic and appalling. How do we address that as well?
Look, create jobs. I know President Mahama, that is one of his priorities on his paper. Creating jobs for the youth. Because that is really, really making the youth uncomfortable.
Very.
Now, he appointed some guy, Pablo. You know Pablo?
I heard the name.
The name is Pablo. He's been here, Tottenham here to talk to us some time ago. His name is his nickname is Pablo.
Not the new youth employment guy they put there.
Not Basintel.
No, Basintel.
No.
He also get
Pablo is in charge of.
Basantelli also got an approval.
Yeah.
You remember when he went to his office
Yes.
with all these youth and
Yes.
both of us?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, but we have to be serious. We
Yes.
have to make the youth get jobs to do. How do we create the job? That's the question you asked. Let us open a lot of manufacturing industries. That tomato factory, if you have one in Adan, you know how many people will migrate from Accra to Adan to come and work there and decongest Accra.
One of the things
You know?
too is that apart from manufacturing, how do we get it into all the regions and other sectors?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
what do you think?
Into all the regions.
Yeah.
No, if you come here to the UK, you will see that most of the manufacturing industries are not in London, or are not.
Exactly.
Most of them are not.
They are able to get them.
They are spread all over, and that was exactly what Kwame Nkrumah did.
So why can't we do it
So
now?
why can't we do it now? People are saying that they come from what is it? Akufo-Addo's hometown, and they were putting everything there. Went and made a Wi-Fi in their hometown. What is that? What can be so bad?
Yes.
You know, it means you don't have the whole of Ghana in heart.
So that brings about decentralization.
Yes.
Yes.
You know,
I'm with you.
you go to the people of Tongo and told them, you went there and told them that you didn't vote for me. I shouldn't have been here. How can we tell a citizen? How can we do that?
Yeah. That also hit him badly.
Yes. Yeah. But you see, he doesn't realize that all these things he says will come back to haunt him.
Yeah.
You know, you are head of state of Ghana. It's not only for the eastern region or Akotia or wherever you come from. Yeah. You are head of state for everybody in Ghana.
Yes.
You know?
Okay, so let's stick with economics of the manufacturing stuff.
Yes.
And how we can get the purchasing power thing resolved. And also how we can get the distribution of all these goods into all the hinterlands and the cities so that the prices can come down, because you know the supply and demand.
Yes.
You know, probably to bring the prices down.
Yes.
If we can overwhelm the market.
Yes.
But government should spearhead that, because normally if we leave it in private hands, sometimes that's when it goes messy. I don't know your views on that.
No. You see, the private.
Do you get where I'm coming from?
The private sector is very important in economic development, you know, or economic growth. You know, provided they are properly regulated. You know, the reason why the private sector didn't thrive in Akufo-Addo's government was that they were not creating the enabling environment, and those who were there were heavily bribing people, and things were not being done properly. You know, that is why. The private sector is a very strong element in government countries' development. Okay, I mean that coupled with what government can do, if they are both done properly, the citizens of the country will be so happy.
Yeah. So I've always believed in the PPP, public-private partnership.
That is correct. Yes.
But I don't believe in the private sector having the dominance over the public. I believe that the public should have dominance over the private. That is how they control, because the government will always have the interests of the majority of the people.
Yes, I know.
Sometimes, go on.
I know, I think I may be wrong, I may be right. Some time ago, many years ago, when I was studying, any country that, any investment that was coming to Ghana, Ghana had about 51%. And the other one will have a little less, 40-something%.
Really?
That is how it used to be. I
That's
don't know
how
what
it's
it is
supposed to be,
now. Because Ghana is the one where it is the host country, you know, and normally they hold a higher percentage, I know, and the private company, I think, like I told you, in the last government, things changed.
As for the last government, let's not even.
So I don't even know the percentage.
Even the last government sold the country out.
You know,
because we all know that even Kotoka International Airport, Terminal 1, was sold out.
Yes.
And became a military base.
Look at that.
For a superpower.
Look at that.
And then we have almost, look at the Burkina Ibrahim Traore and the Sahel people.
Yes.
He sold them out.
Yes.
To the Blinken, the foreign minister or defense minister.
Yeah.
One of the ministers.
Why should I'll go on to that again, the $50 we are paying at the airport.
Yes.
Why didn't it go to a Ghanaian company? You know?
ridiculous.
Why did you go to a Ghanaian entrepreneur and you had to go to a Nigerian?
But why couldn't the
You know?
government itself run it and get the money for
That's
government?
what I'm saying. Why didn't you go into a Ghanaian
Anyway.
government? You know, things went very bad during then, you know, and in the long run, they just realized that they shot themselves in the foot, you know, because eventually it will come back to haunt you.
Yeah.
You know,
So
don't forget you are
yeah.
ruling people.
Yeah.
You know, people have souls, people have spirits. I'm going the spiritual way now. People have souls, people have spirits.
Yes.
And if you don't rule them well, you don't treat them well,
Yes.
the curses go back to your government or go back to you.
Mm.
So treat the people well, let them have food to eat, give them jobs to do.
But you know, the last government, even common food,
People couldn't
and
have.
people committed suicide.
Yes.
It was so hard.
People were, and then the pensioners
that
who
was
worked for
terrible.
over 30 years
Oh
and
my
put
God.
their names in this, what is it, treasury bills and the other ones. You go and tell them that they couldn't have their money.
Yeah.
You are going to give them haircut, and some of them have to wait 10 years, 5 years before they get any money at all. Some of them died. You know,
It's terrible.
what can be so callously wicked than that?
So
What can be more callous, more wicked than that?
So basically, like we are trying to hold on to proper, lasting, holistic solutions. This last government, I don't think we need to even embrace it.
No, I don't have any doubt that President Mahama is going to do a lot of things, and he needs all of us to be on board.
Right.
We have to give him the right support. You know, I told you already that he's a man who consults a lot.
Yeah.
If he's not very sure of something, he will consult. And then if he gets the right people to talk to at the right time, and these people are honest to him and honest to Mother Ghana, then we have a bright way ahead of us.
Okay, so let's still stick with the economic bit and the manufacturing bit, the job creation, because I'm very passionate.
Yes.
And I want souls and humanity to be lifted.
I'm telling you, if President Mahama will do this magic of resurrecting all the companies, or almost all the companies that Kwame Nkrumah set up, but the enemies of Kwame Nkrumah's government, the traitors came in and truncated and all the rest. If only President Mahama can get them back to life. He said, I know.
Remember which one?
Yes.
The sugar factory one?
In what is it? Asuchare?
Yeah.
Yes. Kademach factory.
So what you are saying,
yes.
Kwame Nkrumah is aware.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yes.
Mama is aware, and he's resurrecting them.
Yes.
We pray we need to support
when
the
he does that,
yeah.
then what you are saying about purchasing power will become very minimal.
Because they will create
People
jobs.
create jobs for the people. University graduates will be happy.
Now, one of the problems, we are still with the micro thing and the macroeconomics. We'll come to that in a bit. But I want us to really digest on it well and find the last thing. So now, the paper, the pay, let me put it this way. The living standard, right, as against the earning power.
Yes.
It's been a big problem.
That is the balancing act that we have to do. And you know how we do it? If we get food for people to eat,
yes,
you know, then it takes a little bit out of the problem out of the balancing act, in that it doesn't matter how much you earn, at least you are earning something which can make you buy something to have a 3 square meal a day. That is the most important thing.
So we are hitting the nail on the head.
Yes. So if we don't increase our agriculture, but we are paying them, well, there's be too much money in the system, then the inflationary trend will continue to go up. But we need food. The agriculture, I don't have any doubt that this new Minister of Agriculture and Mr. Dumelo and the deputy, they will roll up their sleeves and make sure that
Dumelo is the deputy.
Yes.
So the main Dumelo
is the so that we can increase the guy did it in Burkina Faso, you know, and the people there
and he never went to the IMF.
They didn't get any IMF
and he
money.
paid his debt.
Yeah, he paid his debt. He never went to IMF. He never went to World Bank.
Niger also paid their debt.
Yes. Let me tell you the story about Niger. I forgot in the first program.
Yes.
France, when you go to Élysée in France, Champs-Élysées, where they have the residence of the president, American embassy and all that, The lights are like heaven, lights coming from heaven. Too many lights, you know. But the things powering those lights are the uranium from Niger.
Exactly.
And you know how much the French were paying them when it was less than 0.5 of a euro.
Yeah, really.
You know, but 0.5, they got 5.5 cents or something. So when these people sacked the French, you know, they told them that no, we are not going to sell this to you at that price.
Right.
Our new price is 200 euro. Wow. If you are not able to buy, we'll find another market. We'll find out
exactly
because if they stop sending that uranium to France, there will be a lot of doom soil in France. They started paying the 200. You see, so there's a paradigm shift there.
And to top up, consolidate your point.
Yes,
France power is normally nuclear.
Yes.
So why can't Africa also supplement? The Akosubos and the turbines with another nuclear power for electricity.
Kwame Nkrumah had a wonderful vision.
Can you imagine?
These enemies, they destroyed Ghana from 1966.
Very sad.
They destroyed. But you know something? Ghana, God loves Ghana.
God loves Ghana.
And that's why he gave us Mahama on the 7th
And that is why, my lovely audiences, you need to be listening to the great program, because we go to the bottom of everything and bring you the holistic solutions. And so we'll be talking about both the micro and the macroeconomics. Like I said, we'll be going deep into other things. This is where we do our political and economic analysis and finding holistic solutions as well. Let me give Dr. Lawrence AKWETEY to give us his last words. Part 3, 4, 5, 6 will be coming your way. Trust me, we ain't done yet. And we never even touched the micro bit, because the inflation, exchange rate, the GDP, all that we need to talk about that. Doc, we don't have enough time today. I'm sure we'll see if we could touch on some of them in the during the week or probably the weekend, because it's very encouraging for us to go to the nitty-gritty of things and to support the refix, you know,
the reset of Ghana.
The reset of Ghana and fixing of the economy of Ghana and Africa. Because if Ghana is successful to trickle down, so that's the final words. You know, I know we haven't touched on that.
Yeah, we'll come on. There's
a lot we have to touch on.
There's a part 3 coming. The final word I want to say is,
for this particular
segment, is all Ghanaians, whether you are in government or you are in opposition, please give a hand to His Excellency President John Mahama and support him to reset Ghana.
Correct.
You know, the damage that has been done by the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government has been colossal. But you know, with God, all things are possible.
Right.
Nothing is impossible to God. And it is not by chance or by coincidence that Mahama won the presidential election on the 7th of December 2024. It was God who was determined to reset Ghana and make every Ghanaian increase their standard of well-being. You know, and I have no doubt. Now, he said he was going to form his government within the first 60 or 120 days. He has already finished forming the government. And look at the quality of the young boys he brought. The intelligence of this. I listen to all of them on radio. You know, Joy FM in particular, I listen to that a lot. You know, and they all talk sense. The only people who come and they don't talk sense is that the people who come and say, why is he ruling with committees? Do they understand? It means you are not educated. Do you know what is called a committee? A model of governing? You know? So please, Ghanaians, that is my take. I have a lot of confidence in the president. Let us all support him and make Ghana a great country. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Lawrence AKWETEY, and we are so grateful our audiences and listeners around the global world, and of course, resetting the Ghanaian and the Pan-African agenda. I'm so grateful. Look, make sure a friend, a colleague, family members all benefit from this program, because we go to the nitty-gritty and analyze, titrate, rewrite, and make sure you get the best. Okay? Don't be fooled by propagandists, because the propagandists and all the saboteurs, traitors are out there to undermine your intelligence. Let's be real and look at the situation head on with solid, powerful, lasting solutions. Thank you so much. And once again, I'd like to thank Top Connects remittances. If you are watching me, make sure you use them for all your remittances. They are negligible commission for your own benefits. And we thank Waterhouse Solicitors for your civil and criminal litigation, immigration advocacy, housing, and everything else. So once again, thank you so much. And we look forward in continuing with the various segments, powerful, only on Voice of London TV. Be blessed.